Hello family, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for tuning in today. So this is our final product. If you want to see how we're able to achieve this peanut butter, keep watching. So I went to the market to get groundnut. So there are two types of groundnuts, I think, in the market or more. So I got this. There's the other one called Kampala. I don't even know the name of this one. So I got this because this is what I have known all my life, right? So you can use groundnut paste to make soups, groundnut soup. You can also use it to make pap. There is a rice pudding that you could make. You can also use part of the paste to add different things to it, to just stick it with your bread. So let's get into the video. So in your pot, add your groundnut, which is your peanut, and on your fire basically, and keep stirring. As you can see in this video, you keep stirring. You don't even allow it for 1 minute. If not, some part will be burnt, like it will really be burnt, right, than the other part, and you don't want that because you don't want your soup or your peanut butter coming out looking so dark. So I kept going on, like I kept stirring and stirring. This was a very long process. So as you can see, it was already hot. So I was trying to peel the back of one to see how easily the peel could come out of the body of the groundnut. So at this point, I would allow you just keep watching so that you will see the whole process. It will take some time, but I promise you're going to enjoy watching each and every process of making this peanut butter. So keep watching and enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed listening to the music, the calm sound. So, at some point, I will allow it to rest for like few seconds. And as you can see, at this point, it is ready. So what we're going to do is you get your mortar and pestle. So you turn your groundnut inside your mortar, and then now you get your pestle. So I'm showing you what it looks like after frying, right? You could see that the peel is looking darker than it was looking from the beginning of the video, or at the beginning of the video. So I started pounding and pounding, and I realized that, see, there is a technique using deshelling your peanuts, like your groundnuts, right? So that you don't end up, scattering the whole thing. So unlike pounding, like when you're pounding pounded yam, you use all your energy and strength to hit it so hard. But with this technique, right, of deshelling, you would be going in, just with little strength, right? And even though at this point it looks like I was hitting it so hard, no, I was not reaching under the mortar, right? So it is a technique using, it was just like bouncing. It was just the art of bouncing. So whenever you're pounding, you're, trying to deshell your peanut, you kind of bounce it, right? The art of bouncing, you hit it and then allow it to bounce. Don't allow it to get to the ground, right? So I was busy doing that inside, but I didn't want to crack my tile, so I brought it outside, the backyard, and I continued doing it. So this is me. And somebody was like, okay, see, why won't I buy outside? Sincerely, buying some of these processed things comes with me having anxiety, because I don't know the kind of, I don't just know, I just have trust issues, right? So I prefer, if I have the strength, the energy, and the time, I prefer to go to the market, buy the things myself, fry them myself, as you saw from the beginning, and then I come to do the whole process. We're just having a chit chat section, sincerely, about the whole process, and then living in Abuja, or even if you're abroad, right, you could do this basically. And then when you're done deshelling it, there is also a process of taking the chaff, away from the, peanuts, which is a groundnut, or the groundnut, right? That's what they call it, a groundnut. So you take the chaff out, and by, I don't know, there's a process basically. I will allow you to enjoy watching the rest of the video. So this is what I kept doing. You keep doing it, like you keep, I'm allowing you watch the whole video, so that videos seem as though like everything is quick, but no. So at this point, this is what you will get by the time you are done, deshelling. You get something that looks like this, right? You can see that the granite is not scattered. So I turned everything at first into a large tray, so that we can take out the chaff, as I was explaining earlier. So at this point, I realized that we cannot like do everything at once, right? Because it's too full. So I had to get another bowl to reduce it, so that it is easier to work with it basically. So this is the process of reducing it. Just enjoy watching the video, sincerely. So I am back with my beautiful voice. So this is the process of deshelling it. You get, put it inside a tray, you hold it on both sides, spread your hands, and then keep bouncing it up, like you do as though you want to throw it up, and then you catch it back, and then you do it consistently. So at this point, you can see that there are a few that are still not deshelled, so I was trying to do that with my hands, right? And yeah, so you take your time, but nobody said that you have to deshell everything, sincerely. The rule doesn't state that, okay? So you don't have to remove everything. So all you need to do is just work with the process, right? And just make sure that you have a neat paste, so everything doesn't have to come out, sincerely. Just make sure that it is neat enough to make your pap look neat, and your soup also look presentable and neat as well. So here I was done with the first batch. I was turning it into the container, and after turning it into the container, you could see that I was taking my time to make sure that there are no surprises in it. So this was the whole process of turning it. And then when you're done turning, you go in with the other batch, and then you continue again. You can see the first thing I was even doing was to remove, try to deshell the ones that still have their shell on. So at this point, I was repeating the process of throwing it up basically. I don't know what it is called. So if you know what this technique is called, or process is called, just leave it in the comment section, okay? So the art of like removing chaff from seeds. So I went in. I enjoy doing this. I won't lie to you, like it's so therapeutic. So you go in and you keep going in until you see nothing basically, until you see that there is no chaff hanging in. And then if you do, especially when there is no enough air, you could use your natural breath to kind of blow the excess away, okay? At this point I was done, and I turned everything. So after doing everything, you get your blender. You could either take it to people that are blending it, or you get your blender. And as you can see, I didn't turn everything at once, okay, because you don't want to spoil your blender. So the secret of getting a paste right is to add oil. Basically, I didn't even know until I was blending, or maybe my blender is not strong enough, I don't even know. And this is our final result. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy, subscribe to the channel, leave a lovely comment, and like the video. Until next time, bye.